Welcome back. You're watching a special edition of Out Front. Congress is back tomorrow. In the next few weeks, both the House and Senate Intelligence Committees are expected to conduct closed-door interviews with high-ranking members of the Trump campaign, or at least officials connected to President Trump, including Michael Cohen and Donald Trump Jr. Former Senator Bob Graham was the Democratic co-chair of the Joint Congressional Inquiry into the September 11th attacks. He is out front tonight. And Senator, you wrote an op-ed where you have deep concerns about how the House and Senate Intelligence Committees are handling this. And one of your biggest concerns seems to be you think there's the very real possibility that Robert Mueller will not be allowed to finish his investigation.
I don't know what the odds are that he won't be able to finish the investigation, but it seems as if every time he gets a little bit closer to the core of the issue of Russian involvement, that creates a flurry of activity that may be interpreted that he's under threat of being cashiered. My position is that if that happens, the full responsibility for the investigation into what is an unprecedented attack on American democracy is going to fall on the Congress, and I don't think the Congress is very well prepared to accept that responsibility. So my op-ed urged that the Congress take its act up another step by getting more competent staff for this particular type of investigation. Be sure that they're going to have access to all the records that have been assembled when Mr. Comey and now Mr. Mueller were running the Department of Justice investigation, and that all of that be done with a sense of urgency, that we get this information completed out to the American public as rapidly as possible.
Create a backstop, you think, in case the Mueller investigation is somehow called off there. You talk about the staffing issues. You don't think that the committees are sufficiently staffed to handle the investigation right now. How about what they have done so far? How would you grade their performance, these committees?
I would say unknown or incomplete, because there's been so little information made available to the public as to just where their investigation is at this time. My concern is that when we investigated 9/11, the first decision was to merge the House and the Senate so that there was not any appearance of competition or conflict between the two houses. And then we hired an independent staff under an excellent, very professional director. And with that, we were able, I think, to do a deep, thorough, and very persuasive inquiry into what happened at 9/11. I don't see those elements being in place now in the inquiry into the Russian meddling in our elections.
Do you think there needs to be an end date here? You know, the Senate Intel Chair Richard Burr says he wants to finish by the end of the year. Do you think that's realistic? Do you think they should push to get it done by that date?
I think they should push to get it done as quickly as possible and to do a thorough inquiry that will have the confidence and support of the American people that this is the truth, and we can rely on that in terms of whatever policy decisions will flow from the inquiry into Russian meddling.
How do you think the president has behaved so far vis-a-vis the various investigations?
Well, I think this is just another example, as your previous segment on DACA, where the branches of government are not working well together. Yes, we believe in the theory of controlling tyrannical government by dividing responsibility among the three branches, but the three branches still must have a level of respect for each other and for themselves. And I don't think that's been very apparent in the way in which the DACA issue's been handled, and certainly not in this Russian meddling case.
All right, Bob Graham, a lot of advice to the current members of Congress. Thanks so much for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
Next, we do have breaking news.